This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Annie, and I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me on this journey. We'd like to thank and acknowledge our executive producers, Brandine Aaron Kirkwood, Sean McGuire, Yanis, Albert Lorenzo, Light Blinded Fool, Davis Ferreira, and Kristen Gilreath. And before we get into things today, we just want to thank and welcome Justin Haig and Jordan Gower to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. Thank you so much for your generosity and your support. We really, truly appreciate it. In this episode, we're talking about chapters 29 and 30 of Winter's Heart.
Yeah, chapter 29 is Another Plan, and chapter 30 is Cold, Fat Raindrops.
Yeah. Another Plan is a better plan,
Yeah.
and it's the one I've been waiting for.
Okay, but Matt has, like, layers of plans going on right now. He's got, like, multiple...
he's the battle general guy.
Yeah.
Of course he's got layers of plans. However, he needed Bail Doman, and I said that, and I was waiting.
You did.
And I don't know what took him so freaking long to even show up.
Well, I mean, it was only, like, a couple of days.
No, it was like 9 days.
9 days, yeah. We're, like,
That's
right at the end.
Too many days.
I swear, at some point, we might leave Abu Dar.
Oh, I've
Maybe.
been waiting.
It's been dragging on.
I've been waiting, yeah. You
Yeah.
know what's funny? When we were in Saladar, I was like, ooh, go to Abu Dar. I'm going to love it there.
Yeah.
Do you remember how much I wanted to go
and
to
I was
Abu
like,
Dar?
we're stuck in Abu Dar and we can never leave.
Oh my gosh. But wow, the anticipation.
Right.
In these chapters.
And then after this episode, we only have 5 chapters
And
left.
can you believe it?
Oh,
I
man.
stopped reading
Yeah.
after chapter 30.
That's good.
It was very difficult.
I mean, I can because, you know.
Out of all the things that have to happen and then stop, I was waiting. The build-up was crazy, and then it just stopped.
Yeah.
I was so nervous.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things when that happens, the way we read it, so.
I know. Normally, though, it's not like this bad.
Mhm.
It's only been
We're, like,
this bad
right in the middle.
several times over the past, almost 4 years. But
Fair.
this one is up there for a bad one.
Okay.
Bad time to stop.
Yeah, I'm going to need predictions from you.
I figured.
Yeah,
I'm going to wait till after our conversation.
totally fine. So I'm going to start us off with a fun fact. And since we kind of get like a Matt, Bail, Doman reunion meeting, and we get the mention of the day they met, and that was the introduction to one of the best name mispronunciations you ever had,
Gelb.
or Gleb,
Gleb.
as you called them correctly. Wow.
See, I don't know which one is right. It's like a 50-50 shot.
Yeah, so Florin Gelb is his name,
Mm-hmm.
a.k.a. Gleb. And there's a passage in the What Origins book about Florin Gelb, so I figured this would be a good time to actually do that one.
Okay.
Because we haven't seen that guy in a long, long time.
No. Oh, no. He's probably dead.
Well, I mean, maybe. Anyways, okay, so here we go. The reason why Florin Gelb, or where he gets his name from, Florin Gelb, according to What Origins, is a duplicitous and generally cowardly sailor, and his name derives from Florianus, who was proclaimed Roman emperor in July 276 after the death of his brother, Emperor Tacitus, and after, 3 months or so, his own army was very dissatisfied with his performance and his leadership, so they killed him in September.
Okay.
Yeah. And then his surname Gelb means yellow in German, and it's a subtle comment on his personality.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go. That's
Not
the
Gleb.
not Gleb.
Okay.
That's the official reason.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. And isn't Bail Doman also, doesn't it have something to do with a boat?
Yeah, bail, because you bail water out of the ship. We
When
talked
it's
about this
sinking?
in the middle of an episode, I think, and then
I think it was during our Q&A.
okay,
that we were
okay.
talking about this.
So yeah, bail Doman, bail because you bail water out of a ship, and then Doman because I wish we get a reference in this chapter too. He is muscular, but kind of fatter
over his
So
muscles.
he's like a dough man, a man made of dough.
Like the Pillsbury kind.
It's not the best. I don't love it the most. But yeah, that's
Pillsbury Doughboy.
Doman. Doman.
Pillsbury Doughboy. Okay.
But when he grows up, he's a dough man.
Okay,
There you
yes,
go.
the grown-up
It works.
Doughboy. Got it. Doughman. Sure, why not? Now, last time we were here, Matt wandered around in Abu Dar trying to come up with a plan, and Thom came up with one that was medium at best. And that's where we are.
Okay.
We're just hopeful. Hopeful for Matt's luck. Hopeful for Taviranus.
Better planning than Perrin's planning, which is no planning.
Yes.
At least they're trying. They're trying to come up with stuff.
They're trying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they are kind of really hoping on, like, things just working out.
Yeah, I don't know if Perrin's ever tried to do anything this complex before. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but most of the things that Perrin has been involved with has been like a rescue attempt.
He's done a few
that
rescues.
He doesn't know anything about.
Yeah.
He doesn't know where they are, so he's like, I'm gonna ride in and come up with something along the way.
Yeah, like we got some of the rescue stuff from the Two Rivers, you know, stuff that went down in the Shadow Rising.
What rescue stuff in the Two Rivers?
They rescued some people that were captured.
Oh, yes, from the White Cloak
There
camp.
were some events, you know.
That was the same that he did in Dumai's Wells too, though.
He's just
it was like, I'm gonna ride that way and see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure people will come to defend Perrin, but, you know.
It's been a while since I've heard a Perrin defense, honestly, so...
Well, he hasn't been doing anything too terrible.
That's kind of the problem.
Yeah.
He hasn't been doing much.
You know what? These chapters are not about Perrin. We gotta start talking about Matt.
No, Perrin's been gone for a while, which is like, okay. I am interested, though, in that whole Fail capture business, but that's not here.
Yeah,
that's not here.
Yeah.
Focus.
Let's get on track. Why are we so
Chapter
unfocused?
29.
Haven't even started yet.
Another plan.
All right.
A better plan. A different plan. A good plan.
Yeah.
Let's see how this goes. A plan that I partially predicted.
Partially. You do get partial points.
Yes.
You also get partial points this chapter for the Adam stuff.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that later.
Okay, so the chapter symbol is, of course, the Adam. Great. Now, we enter in a Matt perspective. He's in the basement of the Wandering Woman because he's in the middle of trying to convince Jolene that she has to wear an Adam for the escape plan to work properly.
Yeah.
And Jolene is all pissed off and is like, no, I asked for your help, not a noose around my neck. And so Matt's shaking the Adam, trying to get her to go along with the plan, but her two warders are like, no, if she doesn't want to do it, she doesn't have to.
It's like, guys, this is the plan.
There's a whole back and forth and things get really tense.
Yeah, and like I kind of get the point that, and she mentions, hey, if, you know, things start to happen, I can't do anything.
And then I'm stuck here like this and I'm for sure captured.
Yeah, but also if things are at that point where you're channeling, then you're already done for. Then you're for sure getting caught because every Demonian Abu Dar can sense channeling and they know something's going down, so... Like, there's no chance at that point.
Right.
But anyways.
Yeah. So finally, Mistress Anan just, like, yells at her and tells her she has to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She, like, takes control here.
Right. And then this leads to Mistress Anan revealing...
Oh, yeah.
That she's not going to be staying in any city where women are turned into animals because they can channel.
Yeah.
So... She's also not going to have her family staying here.
Yes, and who knows what that is, really. Because, like, we've heard of some people in her family, but we don't know.
We have no idea.
That's what Matt's afraid of.
Yeah.
Here.
Plus, she's already negotiated the sale of her inn. Like, she is getting out of Dodge.
Yeah.
She is bouncing.
You know, this is interesting because she mentions she started that process 2 days after the Shanshan landed once she figured out what was really going on.
Yeah.
So, like, this has been in the works for her for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw her, like, a long, long time ago.
That's true. Now, there has been something holding off her finalizing the sale, and it's because of the whole holding an Aes Sedai in her basement thing.
Right. That would be surprising for the new person taking over. To be like, who's this woman and why is she here?
Right. And then Matt starts freaking out internally because he's imagining Satel and Anne and her entire family.
Yeah.
And her hundreds of relatives thinking they can come along on this trip.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh no, there's only room for a few people here.
Plus, we get here that Matt hasn't told Satel and Anne about the Val and Luca side of things either.
No.
And, like, he hasn't really talked to Luca about this either. But, like, that's his primary plan from what it sounds like. He keeps talking about Luca.
He might have. No,
but he thinks, he's like, oh, I haven't really mentioned the full details to Luca.
But once we get out to Luca's, at least we'll be kind of safe over
But then if he shows up with too many people, then Luca might not be on board. But he's really not telling anyone any full details of any of the medium plans he's got going on. So...
I think that's pretty funny.
Yeah, no, it's going to go great.
Well, he's relying on his luck.
That's true. That's how he functions.
And Tavira nature.
That's true. He does understand how it works.
Yeah.
He gets it. He gets his superpower. He understands it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Matt accidentally during this conversation, let slip that there are 2 Domani that will be missing. And Jolene is like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Who's the second one?
She only mentioned Teslin.
Yes. And he reluctantly tells her that it's Edicina, who's the other one. And he doesn't even know anything about her.
Yeah. Yeah. And like at this point, shouldn't you?
He doesn't even know what she looks like.
Yeah, shouldn't you at this point of the plan, like the planning stage of escaping, you should at least have an idea?
Yeah.
Maybe? Like, I get that he can't visit the kennels anymore, but...
He's relying on Teslin to be like that one.
But yeah.
I think, at this point, because he can't visit there, because it'll be too suspicious.
Yeah. But we haven't
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Yeah. But I mean, half the planning. And I keep
I'm
going
going to sing that later on, too.
When he's sauntering down the hall.
Don't be suspicious. Yeah.
Put my thumbs in my belt loops and look super casual. Yeah, that's how I walk all the time. If you ever see me doing that, you know I'm doing something.
Up to something. You have to know good.
Yeah. No, and I get, like, Matt, we have seen, he understands his power. We've seen him, like, spin around and, like, go random intentionally to let his Tavirianus take over in his luck, but...
This is a little bit...
It's a lot that you're leaving up to just, hoping that it all works out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, like, I don't know. What else can he do? Really?
He could ask Jolene, hey, I have to also rescue Edicina. Have you heard of her? Do you know her? Because Jolene clearly does.
But he's really, really holding his cards tight to his chest.
Yeah.
Like, only half of the people know half of the plan, and the other half know the other half.
Yeah, nobody knows the full thing.
Yeah.
Like, Egeanin doesn't get to know who's actually involved, not just Jolene. Like, he's really not telling anyone anything. Just
to make sure he's saving his own butt because of all the spies everywhere.
It's part of the plan.
It is, obviously. There you go. Obviously.
All right. Figured it out. There you go.
Yeah. So anyways, about this Edicina thing, Jolene gets super intense and asks if there are any other sisters there, because if Teslin is getting free, then Jolene isn't going to leave any other sister here to the Shanshan. And then Matt's like, yeah, well, I won't leave any Aes Sedai unless they want to stay.
Yeah, and that was like a little bit too cryptic, and they totally pick up on it.
Well, because he knows about the whole, like, Pura and the other one, not Morel, Mylenin.
Yeah, whatever. Whichever, the other one.
The other one?
The other one who's like fully,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and there is a note at some point, I think maybe next chapter, where he's like, how am I actually supposed to tell if they don't want to come?
Yeah, he can't. Yeah. He can't, and that's because he starts getting nervous, like, oh man, I really can't tell who's who and who's on my side and who's going to fake it, and really doesn't
and maybe they do want to escape, but they are just in a bad situation.
And he starts worrying that about Teslin, too, when we get to that part, too.
Yeah. Okay, so Matt turns back to Mistress Anan to tell her about her family, and is like, they really can't come. And she's like, don't worry, I sent my husband with all 10 of our boats and all of our family away from here 3 days ago.
She's on top of it.
They're all heading to Ilion, and they're going to wait for me there.
Yeah.
And Matt thinks, shoot, those boats were my backup plan.
That's like a backup of a backup. And technically he didn't have a plan for the boats, but they were in the list of possible plans.
Yeah.
But
which he didn't even, mention.
He had no idea.
And the fact that 3 days ago, she left, which was in the timeline of them potentially leaving.
Yeah, that's why it's like a plan. It's like a G. Plan G, way down on the list.
Should have mentioned it, though. Should have mentioned it.
Yeah, there is a little tidbit here where Jolene mentions something about Satalanan. Did you catch it?
I do have that.
Okay, because there's been a couple of little things here.
I know. I'm really trying to figure out what the hell is going on with her.
Hard to piece it together. What the heck is going on?
What the heck? I feel like I'm finding a random jigsaw puzzle piece under the couch.
Yep. And
I'm like, ooh, I know what puzzle this goes in. I should go put it back in the box, and then you put it on the counter and then don't. That's I feel that's a really, really detailed puzzle analogy. But that's how I feel with this Satalanan mystery.
Yeah.
Because she clearly knew tons about the White Tower.
Yeah.
She's overprotective of women who can channel.
Definitely.
She had a pretty big, interesting run-in with the women of the kin.
Yeah.
Who she knew about, but they didn't know she knew about them.
Yeah, and one of them was like, hey, you remind me of, hey, did you go to...
And she's like, nope.
Nope.
Goodbye.
Somebody else now, okay.
Yeah. And then now, Jolene is suddenly very sure that she has met Satalanan before, and she recognizes her voice.
Yeah.
But, not her face.
Yeah. And then we also have where Satalanan is, hoping that she can be a Suldam, but then it turns out that she can't.
Ah, okay. Maybe, because like I was like, oh, she's clearly been to the tower. She knows all about it.
Yeah, she knows a decent amount.
Yeah. Maybe she tried to go and can't channel. They tested her and then
They're like,
they were
no.
like, no,
but how would
you
she know
have to
anything?
leave.
Because she would get turned away immediately then. It's not like you get to hang out and learn about the White Tower.
Maybe she stayed as a servant.
Okay.
In the kitchens or something.
I like it. Okay. That's great. Well, I mean, she literally runs like an inn here, so.
Lanfear in disguise. Because remember when Lanfear was in disguise as Keely and she had a different voice than her face showed?
Okay, yeah. Yep.
Maybe not Lanfear. Maybe someone else in disguise.
Oh, okay. So it's not Lanfear.
Because she doesn't recognize her face. Because she holds it up, the lantern up to Satalanan's face.
Yeah.
And she's like, ooh, I recognize your voice.
Yeah.
Do I know you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's a mystery.
It's a big mystery.
It's a mystery.
Yeah, I'm not going to help you with that one.
Are you Lanfear in disguise? Maybe. Not really, though.
Okay.
That's not a real one.
Okay.
So Satalanan takes the Adam from Matt and is like, let's get this testing over with. And Matt's like, what do you mean? And then this is where I'm like, I told you this is going to be a problem.
Yeah, you did.
Not everybody can be a Suldam. Only women who can slightly channel or with a spark.
Learn how to channel.
Can learn how to channel.
Yeah.
Can do this. Which totally kiboshes my Satalanan can channel and used to be in the tower or something situation.
Yeah. No, but that's also why I kind of like stopped talking last time because you started to, and I didn't want to, because, okay, hypothetically, you don't need to channel to open and close it.
Well, and I started getting convoluted with the whole I thought you needed to channel to open it, because that's what Nynaeve does.
Exactly.
Because she probes
for
the class.
And she like flicks it open or whatever.
Yeah.
So you don't need to channel. And you also don't technically need to channel to close it on your wrist, but the issue with the Damani that we see here is that if you can't channel at all, or you don't have the spark, you can't learn how to channel or whatever, there's no connection to Saidar, then it's as if the leash was like put on a hook, so that's why Teslin, when she starts to move too far, she falls down in pain. Because there's
no link.
There's no link, so it's as if you clasp the Adam around her neck, and then she can't move from the spot where it was, but then she does, and it doesn't do anything with Satalanan.
Right.
Because there's no connection to Saidar.
There's no connection.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Okay, because I was wondering why when she started to walk away, she falls down in pain.
Yeah.
But that makes...
It's as if you hung it on the hook.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And that's what happens next.
Yeah, except I have a really funny note about how Matt opens the Adam, which he spent so much time figuring out how to open. And he opens it up, and nobody even claps for him.
Yeah, right?
No one even is like, way to go, bud.
Good job, Matt. Way to go.
Good job.
They don't even know that it was even hard to do.
No.
And he's like, I spent so much freaking time on this.
It's really hard to do.
And to be fair to Matt, it is, because we saw Nynaeve and like Elaine really struggle with this stuff too. Oh, yes, yeah. Like for a long time.
But Matt, I think, has more of like an engineering brain.
He takes stuff apart.
Yes. He likes to take stuff apart.
Like the clock, right?
Oh, yes.
Back
Fireworks.
in the two, the fire, he's a tinker.
He likes to figure stuff out.
Take stuff apart and figure it out, so.
Yes. Anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the plan. He puts it on. She tries to move. Yeah. It's a whole big like, ooh, is it going to work?
It's a whole thing. No. The warders feel her pain. They're mad at Matt because they think it's his fault that she's in pain.
But it's like, no, we have to test this, so.
And now this entire plan is just like going to shit because.
And it's good that we figured it out now.
We don't know what to do.
Yeah, it's really good that we figured it out now, besides like not like tomorrow night or whatever.
Yeah.
In the middle of the plan, like, oh no, it doesn't actually work. Like, it's good we figured it out now.
Right. And strategically, it's good we figured it out now. And then met Egeanin and Doman.
Yep.
Because if we had met Doman and Egeanin earlier, thinking we knew what the plan was, I don't think he would have asked for Suldam.
Mm-hmm. Here's the thought. Close the Adam around your neck, not all the way, and then use like tape or whatever to make it like really close to being, but not fully closed. Boom. Figured it out. You know, shove something in the middle there so it's not fully sealed. Then you can pretend like you have it on, but you don't.
Yeah, that might work.
That's plan like,
leave the planning to Matt, because Matt's plans are better than that one.
Are they though?
Yeah,
are they though?
Yeah, they are. Also, interesting note, Matt's like, this collar's way too big for Jolene's neck. And then as soon as she puts it on, it fits snugly.
Because it's magic.
Because it's magical.
It's magic.
It's magical. So if it didn't have the clasp, it would just be like hanging loose around her neck.
Oh no!
And that would
they would totally pick up on it.
A sign they would know.
Okay.
Dead giveaway.
Yeah, huge.
Your plans don't work, man.
Okay.
That's a bad plan.
I'm trying here.
Don't try. It'd be better if you just didn't try.
I feel like Beslin right
now. Yeah, I was just about to say! You're just like Beslin with terrible plans.
Oh man, that's so great.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so then this is when Satal Anan asks Matt, well, do you have another plan? And he's like, oh, yes, of course.
You got plans coming up my butt.
I have so many. I always have another plan. I have so many plans.
But he doesn't.
No.
And she knows. She's like, okay.
So he leaves. He goes out the back because he doesn't want to go through the bunch of Shanshan in the common room.
It's so funny.
And then once he's outside, he gets stopped by someone who puts a hand on his shoulder and is like, I did no recognize yet first.
Oh, good impression. I like it.
And it's Bail Doman, but Matt actually doesn't really remember that because his memories suck, and he was dagger cursed at the time.
Yeah, so he doesn't. So that's why when Matt saw him, it was like the shadow of an impression. Like, do I know this guy?
Yeah.
He wasn't like, oh no, it's Bail Doman.
Yeah.
He was like, I think I know that guy.
Right.
So
Doman reminds him about their boat trip with Trollocs and Shadow Logoth and Murdral and Whitebridge.
And
Gelb. And Matt starts to sort of remember that he was dagger cursed at that point, and he's like, oh yeah, crazy. We should grab a drink sometime.
Totally catch up, man.
See ya.
Yeah.
And Doman's like, great, how about right now?
Let's go. And let's not only go get a drink right now, let's go back to the same place you just left.
You just left. Yeah, leads him right back to the Wandering
There's like
Woman.
a big circle. It's good he didn't go out, because then he'd be like going out and coming right back in too, so.
Yeah.
I guess it's good he snuck out the back.
Yeah. Now, Matt thinks everything is going okay.
Yeah, well, he also remembers, like, oh, Doman's like something of a smuggler.
So
maybe
we could use him. He already has that in his head.
Another plan.
Until Doman doesn't sit with him in the common room. Instead, he bustles him up the stairs into some room, and he's like,
this is going worse.
This is going not terribly well. Not terribly well for me right now. And Doman gets into the room where there's some lady.
Yeah, and closes the door.
And he says, you're in the presence of Captain of the Green Lady Egeanin.
Yeah.
Here she is.
Oh, good.
And so Matt has no idea what the situation is, but Egeanin, I don't know. I've been listening to the audiobook, and it's been consistently Egeanin this book.
Oh, is it? But like before it's Egeanin.
But it was Egeanin when the perspective was different,
right?
And it was a different narrator.
Well, I mean, kind of like in real life, people just, pronounce names differently. So,
sure.
There you go. They're just getting hyper-realistic.
Okay, but I'm one person, and I should pronounce a name one way.
You would think so.
Yeah.
You would think so, but that's never been your thing.
Egeanin is way easier to say.
Say Marililla one way for the rest.
I quit.
Yeah.
I quit if
That's it, guys. We made it 9 books. We're done.
I quit if I have to say Merlilla only one way.
Yeah.
Forever. And she's becoming way more important, so it's like...
She's been... It's
been annoying.
More so than when you...
Lily.
Remember when she first got sent to Abu Dar and you're like, who's that one who got sent to Abu Dar?
No,
well, that's Marililla.
Oh, yeah.
She's like the first one. Anyways, that's not important. So it's Egeanin or it's Egeanin. It's the Shanshan lady.
Shanshan lady. Captain of the Green.
Yep.
But Matt has no idea what the situation is. Egeanin immediately starts off by telling Matt that Doman told her that Matt is familiar with danger and she needs men to crew a ship.
Yes.
And she can pay very well, and anyone else he knows that can come along. It's like she has this whole rehearsed speech.
It's literally, it sounds too good to be true because it's like, everything he wants.
You have a ship?
Yeah.
And she's like, no.
Not quite. And it's like, okay, that's because it is too good to be true.
And she's like, I'm going to get one by the end of spring.
Oh,
and that's what Val and Lucas said. I'm going to leave by spring.
Yeah, because you know what people don't want to do is travel in the winter because it sucks.
It's south. It's not even winter. It's raining. It's not even, there's not even snow here.
But it's cold.
Relax, Southerners.
Big fat raindrops.
Relax, Southerners.
Cold fat raindrops.
You don't even know. You don't even know what winter is.
You're shivering.
You don't even know what winter is.
Oh.
Anyway, turns out no. There's no ship, and Matt's like, shoot, spring is way too far away, and he wants to be gone by tomorrow.
Yeah, right. That's it doesn't quite line up for him.
Right. Also, Egeanin mentions that she knows Thom and Juilin, and they can vouch for her.
Yes.
And he's like, what?
How do you know
what
that?
What do you mean? how do you know them? And instead of answering, Egeanin's like, he asks too many questions. Send him away.
Right. It's like, come on.
And Doman's like, no.
No, you gotta fill him in a little bit here, because now it's like you got this guy
Matt,
halfway. Yeah.
And you gotta tell him everything if this is gonna work.
Yeah.
And so she's like, frick.
There's a lot of like her considering her situation and then just going with it.
I know.
It's a lot of it.
She's like, oh man, I'm so fucked.
Yeah. Well, and also it's kind of funny because Matt is watching Doman, who he knows is Sojin, and he's like, oh, he's way too playing above his station here. So that means Egeanin must not be a very strong / powerful person.
Right, from what he knows of these relationships.
Yeah, because like Sojin shouldn't be talking to one of the blood like this, so it's a little confusing. He doesn't
especially
know about
to
the
Matt, who
relationship.
literally knows nothing.
I mean, he gets some
he's
things.
Sort of observed some Sojin relationships.
Yeah.
And this one confuses him. So
he knows some things. Not many things, but he knows some.
Yeah, very little.
And they are a very special Shanshan situation.
That's true, too. So then at this point, Egeanin tells Matt she helped Thom and Juilin in Tanchico, and she also helped Elaine and Nynaeve. And then Matt's like,
oh, man.
What really went down in Tanchico? Like, I have no idea.
Yeah. Thom and Juilin don't really say anything because...
they're tight-lipped about the whole thing.
Nynaeve made them promise not to say anything.
And at this point, I started thinking to myself, okay, Nynaeve and Elaine met Egeanin in Tanchico in The Shadow Rising.
Yeah, that's when all that stuff happens.
Right, okay. So then that means that while that was going on, Matt went to the Aiel Waste via Portal Stone.
Yeah, they went. They
with
split
Rand
off.
and the Aiel from the Stone of Tyr.
Yeah,
and he went to Ruidian, and then it took them like a jillion months to travel back out.
Sure. Yeah.
Of the Waste.
Yeah.
So that whole thing happened while the girls were in Tanchico. So he has no clue.
Yeah, he's got no idea.
No clue. So I was trying to figure out. I was like, when that happened, where was Matt? Because,
That's when Matt was a little bit lost in what he was supposed to be doing. Because he went, and then after that, he kind of like, floundered about a little bit until he became the battle commander on the way out.
Right,
with the
when he killed Couladin.
Yeah, that's kind of when Matt came out of his what am I supposed to be doing right now situation when he was in the Waste until that point.
Yeah. Okay, so Matt starts working all of this through his head that if Egeanin wants help...
Yeah, and she's got secrets, and she needs someone who's like...
secrets, yeah. And she wants people who are okay with danger, so that must mean she's in danger herself. But there's not many things that are very dangerous to one of the Shanshan blood, except others of the blood and...
Yeah, and that's when he says it out loud.
Seekers.
The Seekers, and he's like, the Seekers are after you. I figured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty sharp at figuring all that.
Yeah, absolutely.
He gets the Shanshan dynamics at least a little bit.
Absolutely does.
Yeah.
So then he says, if the Seekers are after you, then I can help.
Well, I actually love this because...
But you're going to need to leave, and probably tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, it's really funny because as soon as he says that, Doman and Egeanin go super quiet.
Yeah.
And then Matt thinks to himself, it's literally like the Ralph Wiggum meme, where it's like, I'm in danger. Because he's like, oh no, it got very dangerous in here, and everyone's looking like they might try and kill me, and I don't know if I'm going to get out of here alive right now.
Yeah.
So that's when he's like, hey, it's all cool. Like, if they're after you, I can help, seriously. But then he starts playing his own dynamic of like, have you thought about not leaving in the spring?
Have you thought about not
tomorrow?
Waiting? Have you thought about not waiting?
Because tomorrow is much better of a time to leave than like, in a few months.
Right. You need to leave ASAP.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Egeanin takes a minute and considers all of this, and then finally is like, you know what? Maybe we should leave soon. And she talks herself through all the rationale, and then she tells Matt she still has enough gold to reward him for his help, and he's like, it's cool. I'll help you. I don't need gold. I need 3 Suldam who will keep their mouths shut.
Yeah.
Do you know any Suldam like that?
Mm-hmm. So
and
good.
Egeanin thinks for a minute and nods.
Yeah.
But what she really says is, fuck yeah, I do. I have exactly the 3 who can help us.
Exactly 3, yeah.
I have exactly 3.
It's pretty good.
Isn't that lucky? Isn't that lucky that he needs 3 and she has exactly 3?
Well, and I love it too because they aren't communicating with each other either. She doesn't ask him, why do you need 3 Suldam? and he's not telling her, and she's not telling him any like additional information.
I think that she also is no dummy and can probably figure out he wants to help some Aes Sedai escape.
Probably. Yeah. And she is now leaning towards the Aes Sedai are not all monsters.
Yes.
Since the Nynaeve Elaine incident. So she's leaning away from her Shanshan-ness.
And that's what I said from the beginning.
Yeah.
A little bit. I got some things a little bit wrong.
Yeah.
However, I got we need Bethamin to help us for sure.
Yeah.
And I didn't actually ever name
the Rena Seta.
Yeah, Rena and Seta, but...
we know their situation.
Yeah.
I found what I think is a spelling mistake or maybe grammar mistake.
Ooh, tell me more.
Because when Matt says, hey, I need those 3 Suldam who can keep their mouth shut, and then it says, do you think you could supply those? Right? But it actually says, do you think you could those?
Really?
Yeah, in the book. And I looked, and it says, do you think you could those? But it should be, do you think you could supply those?
Weird.
Right, that's how it works.
That's how English works.
But it was wrong. It was wrong in my book. It's crazy. And I did a double take, and I was like, wait.
Ah.
There you go.
Should I check my book? My book's older than yours.
Yeah.
It's probably even more wrong.
It could be. Oh, no.
Okay, so that's the end of this sort of, not perspective, but segment.
We don't get him walking back to the room. There's like a couple hour time lapse.
Like maybe about that. So let's take a quick break. I'm actually going to grab my book because I'm interested in that correction and see what mine says. And then we'll come on back.
All right.
Okay, we're back. And mine says the same thing.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Yeah. Also, my book is so funny. I saw at the end, there's an advertisement for the soundtrack.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Is that a picture of Loyal?
And then this is a picture of Loyal. This is an advertisement for the Wheel of Time role-playing game.
Yeah, nice.
Based on the D20 system.
Sweet. Yeah.
Available at a book or game store near you. And you can go to wizards.com/Wheel of Time. I wonder if you can still do that.
Yeah.
I wonder if you can still go there.
Probably.
Because it's copyright 2001.
Probably.
So.
Probably out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's funny, though, isn't it? Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, back to Matt.
We're going to time shift slightly. Matt is now visiting Thom and Juilin to let them in on the new Another plan.
Yes, and it is nighttime because the Egeanin stuff finished up in the afternoon.
Oh, it did.
And then it took Thom and Juilin until like after nighttime to get back. So it's just like that time lapse.
Okay. So Thom says Doman and Egeanin and Juilin isn't so happy that she's one of the blood now, and Matt is like, well, do you think we can trust them? Because our whole plan is relying on them.
Yeah, like if we don't trust them, we shouldn't do it, and if we do trust them, like this is
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they're not exactly happy about it, but in the end, it really does feel like, fine, we can trust them.
Yeah, Julian's salty about a couple of things. Number one, they're not using the Suldam dresses that he had swiped.
Yeah.
So
that probably took a lot for him to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it mentions like he threw them in the corner or something.
He's really angry.
He's a little bit angry. He must have gone through a little bit to get him.
And he really hates that Ilianer smuggler.
Yeah, well, he's Terran too, so there's already animosity.
I know.
He's a smuggler.
And he's a smuggler.
Gross. Hate it.
We hate all of that.
And he belongs to Egeanin, so he's Sojin. There's issues
which
there.
Is gross.
Right?
All of it. We don't like it.
Yep. But
sure.
We can trust them.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it.
Yeah, Nynaeve and Elaine both came to like Egeanin. They both see her as an honorable woman, even though she's Shanshan.
Yeah, it works.
Now, I had a thought.
Okay.
In this moment while reading.
Okay.
Because Juilin was also in Tanchico.
Yeah.
And Egeanin was also in Tanchico.
Yeah.
Where and when Amathera was the Panarch.
Yeah.
So Juilin right now, being with Thera or Amathera, maybe it's still not actually a lady love situation.
Okay.
And maybe he like recognized her.
Yeah.
And he's like meeting up with her and is just trying to help her get free because he recognizes her as the former Panarch of Tanchico.
That's very possible. Yeah, and we talked about that. Like, we don't actually have verification from Juilin and his thoughts. Like, I am in love with her and we're making out or whatever.
And we need to leave together to run off and get married.
Yeah. We don't really have that from him. That's mostly Matt's thoughts that are like filling in those blanks for us. So, but yeah.
Yeah.
Egeanin fully might recognize
yes.
Amathera too.
Okay.
And then we can get into the complicated situation next chapter about the fact that like Rena and Seta are coming, and they're the ones who are... Rena was doing the check on Teslin and was like, oh, she's definitely going to try to escape soon.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot... It's very complicated.
I forgot!
Yeah, because...
Are you sure? No, that was Bethamin.
Bethamin and Rena were doing that.
Oh.
And they're like, okay, she gave the reports about... Yeah.
Oh, well,
so, like,
Bethamin might not have told Rena that she's definitely trying to escape. That was Bethamin who had that thought.
Yeah.
Either way,
but
Bethamin is
the report
clearly
got
in on this
given
plan.
to Rena.
Yes.
And Bethamin's definitely probably in on this plan.
That's also interesting.
Yeah.
That is interesting. That she's like, oh my god, she's going to try to escape. And then
like,
it's like, ha, now you're part of the escape plan. That makes things so much better.
Blackmail sucks, doesn't it?
I love it. I love it in this scenario.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic.
Okay, so Matt says... All right, so tomorrow we leave. The only change of the plan is we'll have 3 real Suldam and 1 of the real blood to help us get through the gates.
That's a pretty good improvement on the plan.
I agree.
That's like really good. But the issue is we're leaving on the 9th night, and
I know.
Suroth and Tylan are supposed to be back on like the 10th day.
Well, yeah, it was rough numbers anyway.
Yeah.
We're already pushing it.
Okay.
So of course that's a concern.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the other concern Juilin has is that these 3 Suldam will probably have some issues with releasing 3 Damane out of the city.
Yeah, especially if it's like Egeanin who's bringing in clearly like
Yes.
the real Suldam.
Yes.
But to what extent? So that is a concern.
Yes. And then this is where Matt pries a little into what Doman and Egeanin did in Tenchiko to help them anyway.
Yeah. And we got that Thom and Juilin are pretty tight-lipped about everything because they did promise that they were going to keep their mouth shut, but it does come out.
Yeah, it's basically the fact that Doman and Egeanin helped them acquire and dispose of a sort of male Adam, one that the Black Aja wanted to use against Rand.
Yes.
But good thing that's at the bottom of the ocean now.
Phew, don't even worry about it, guys. It doesn't matter.
Yikes.
Except that it's not, and it's definitely either with Suroth or... with, like, a Forsaken?
Yeah.
Who's in charge of Suroth? Because, like, doesn't that stuff get passed up the chain, probably?
Yeah, unless Suroth is holding on to it.
Fair, yeah.
Because we know Black Ajas are a little opportunistic.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Either way, it's not good.
Not
because
Black
the
Aja,
thing's
it's
still
Dark
up
Friend. Dark Friend. She's not a Black Aja, she's a Dark Friend.
She's Dark Friend, yeah.
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 Okay, but Thom really doesn't want this news getting out because he's well aware of the power of rumors, and he gives a big long example of why this needs to stay quiet.
Yeah, it is like a really long explanation, too.
Very long. Rumors are bad.
Yeah.
They change. They affect the way people see and think, so...
He highlights how good he is at Game of Houses stuff because Thom is like the planter of rumors.
Yes.
He is really good at that stuff.
And he knows how they spread and what they can mean. And
yeah.
So Matt gets the point and thinks about battle strategies and stuff. And then he says, I suppose somebody was smart enough to tell Rand about this thing.
Oh, for sure. Maybe not. Definitely no.
And then he gets the flashes of color.
Yeah, he does.
But then Thom says, well, we don't exactly communicate with him very regularly, do we?
Yeah, shoot. Okay. It's that system we talked about last time.
If Nynaeve and Elaine felt he should know, they would have told him by now.
Right. Mm-hmm. It's a need-to-know basis.
Plus, it doesn't matter. It's at the bottom of the sea.
Right, totally.
Remember, everybody.
All right, well, okay.
And then the conversation's over, and it's bedtime.
Yeah.
Matt tries to go to sleep, and he can't.
Well, here's the thing, too. He sleeps in Tylan's bed tonight.
Yeah.
Which is important, because he doesn't sleep in the same place twice. So tomorrow night, on the escape night, nobody comes in to Tylan's room to, like, check on him. Because they don't think he's there.
Did he sleep there last night, too?
So right now is the 8th night.
Yeah.
And he's leaving the 9th night, tomorrow night, next chapter. So he sleeps in Tylan's room night 8.
Yeah.
Because then night 9, nobody comes to check in on Tylan's room because they assume he's not there.
Okay.
It's just like a little tidbit that comes up next chapter.
Well, he also said he wants a feather mattress.
He does,
and
but
a good bed.
next chapter he thinks about how nobody's here because he slept here last night, so nobody's coming to check on him.
Oh, okay.
Because he doesn't sleep in the same place twice right now because of the golem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's not really that important.
He's also sleeping with his foxhead medallion in his hand.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like wrapped around his wrist.
So he can punch the golem in the face.
With the medallion.
With the medallion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe like through the heart.
How hard would you have to punch the golem?
So hard.
Yeah, just like right... Okay, sure.
It'll work.
Yeah.
With the medallion.
I would get it on a bigger rope and then swing it around.
put it on the end of your spear.
And then swing that around?
No, jam it in.
Jam it into his body.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
From the inside.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
Destroy him from the inside.
Yes,
That's
I like it.
You know, that's how I would kill a golem.
Yeah. You're funny. That's good.
In case you were wondering how I would do it, that's how.
Could you come up with like more ways to kill the golem?
That's it. That's the only way.
You only one?
Yeah.
You need like at least 100
Throw
more.
a bucket of water on him. No one will expect it.
Okay.
But he'll melt.
Yeah.
Like the Wicked Witch.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. That's it. That's all I got. All right. Anyway, he doesn't fall asleep.
Yeah.
It's hard to sleep because he's thinking about everything that could ever potentially go wrong when his plan goes to shit.
Yeah.
And I feel that.
Well, here's the thing.
I feel that anxiety of not being able to sleep because you can't stop thinking about all the things that could go wrong.
Yeah. I mean, the stakes on this one, I don't want to say
they're pretty freaking high.
They're pretty high.
Mm-hmm.
But he does think about how the plan is simple, and simpler plans are better because fewer things can go wrong. And that's true. Complex plans are bad because it's way easier to go off the handle. And here, this is a pretty simple plan. Get everybody together, walk out.
Just go.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
We have one of the blood.
Because we don't need Luca, right?
Well, we don't know. Luca's circus is out of the city.
Oh.
So, like, that is a thing. Luca is not in the city. He basically has, like, a miniature city with his show.
Yeah.
Like, way off, couple miles away from Abu Dar. So, like, Luca might still be in the plan, but to get out of Abu Dar with the Damani and the Suldam is literally get everybody. They even have one of the blood.
Yeah.
And just walk out the gates at nighttime.
Yeah.
Like, it is a pretty simple plan.
Mm-hmm. Like, too simple. He's like, ooh, too simple.
Shoot.
I think it'll be fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is it one of those, like, reverse things where it's like, oh, there's so much buildup and there's so much tension of, oh my god, what's going to go wrong? And it's just been like, yeah, it worked.
Yeah, maybe. That'd be cool.
Okay.
I'd love that. That would be pretty excellent.
Okay.
That would be pretty great.
Yeah.
No?
I mean, yeah, no, great. I love it.
Either that or everything will go wrong and we'll still get out. I think no matter what, we're getting out.
Okay. We're leaving Abu Dar, this book.
Yeah.
You don't sound very confident.
Well, I have just one other thing on my mind.
What?
Tuon. And I feel like unless we're coming back around at some point for Matt to marry her.
Well, we've talked about that where it's like it could be a future. It doesn't have to be a now thing.
I know that.
The initial meet and greet is done.
I know that. But, ooh, what if Matt, like, sacrifices himself somehow and he has to stay behind but everybody else gets out?
Oh my god, so we're staying in Abu Dar?
Maybe Matt is.
Okay.
Oh.
That's an option.
I hate that prediction.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of it.
Oh, I hate
Not saying
that.
it's not possible.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to say
or
it, but like,
he, like, gets captured, but everyone else... Like, if
next chapter, he does a lot of talking to all of his guys about what happens if I'm not here. You leave anyways. You keep going.
That's right.
He does a whole lot of prep work on that.
I know.
Okay. Shall we move on to the next chapter?
Yeah.
Ready for that?
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's all build up anyway.
It is, yeah.
There's not much.
No.
It's just build up.
Okay.
Okay, let's take a quick break and we'll be right back. Okay, here we are, chapter 30, Cold Fat Raindrops.
Here we go.
Here we go, because it's winter. And apparently it rains in winter.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Nope, don't even. Don't even with me. Okay, so the chapter symbol is the 5 dice.
Yep.
And we are still with Matt, but it's morning. He hasn't slept at all, which we always know is best for decision making.
Right.
When we're deprived of sleep.
Yeah.
That's always great. So it's morning. It's cold and gray and cloudy, and a storm is for sure coming in.
It's not a day for rescues and escapes. It's a day for murder.
Ooh.
Yeah.
There has been a murder.
Yes. Well, no. But
there might be.
There could be.
Could be murders.
Right.
So Matt is still trying to convince himself that the plan is simple and it'll work and everything will be okay. And then Lopin and Narum bring him breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's interesting? Narum is described as a lugubrious, gray-haired little fellow.
Yeah, no, because that's one of those words that it's like, I read it.
Do you know what?
And I just kept moving on with my life.
Lugubrious
okay,
means?
go. No, of course not.
It means looking or sounding sad and dismal.
Oh, so that's, and you know what? How Lopin is described?
No.
Chubby.
Oh.
His clothes are getting tight.
He's getting fat because he's eating really well, pretending to be a servant.
It's like, why? Why are we being mean to him for that? Like, the first time the guy gets all of his meals.
Yeah.
He's filling out a little bit.
His coat's fitting tighter.
You know what?
Yeah. At least he's not lugubrious. because that sounds bad.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, they're getting the last of their things ready for the escape, and Matt is making them go over their part of the plan again.
Yeah, I actually really like this because Matt's plan for getting everyone out, he is not the guy who says, I'm going to do everything. He literally delegates everyone into different tasks like a good leader.
Yeah.
And he lets them do their tasks. And he literally sits in his room and doesn't do anything until his part of the task is up.
Yeah.
Like, he does a good job of leadership here.
I agree. He should write a book.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On leadership.
On leadership, yes.
Okay, yeah, just like on what?
Also adventures.
Stealing pies. I don't know.
Yeah.
How to capture a badger.
Also that. Impressive.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, do you want to tell us about everybody's
Sure.
role in the plan?
Yeah, so the two manservants, they're going to go out the back with Oliver, and they've been around long enough, so they shouldn't get stopped by anybody, so that should be okay. Then they go to the Wandering Woman Inn, get Matt's things and his gold, and then they meet up with the Red Arms, and they leave the city. And they have lottery tickets for the horses.
Oh, right, yes.
So they can get out okay. And then about a mile or so out of the city, there's an abandoned stable, and they should wait there for Matt to show up. And this is when Matt starts to remind them a bunch of times that if you don't see me by sunrise tomorrow, then you just keep on moving till you find Talmanis and the band.
Which, you know what? At this point, Talmanis and the band should be getting closer.
Hopefully, yeah.
To where Matt is.
Talmanis felt a pull.
Yeah.
Felt a pull.
A little while ago.
Yeah.
Like a month ago.
Roughly the amount of time it would take to get here.
Roughly that.
Possibly.
Ah.
Crazy.
Ooh.
Crazy. Okay.
Ooh, okay. I hope they're involved in this somehow.
Maybe.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
It's funny, too, because Matt figures, like, hey, if I'm not out of the city by sunrise, then, like, for sure we got caught.
Shit has gone terribly wrong.
Yeah, and he thinks, oh, I'm going to get my head chopped off. However, he also knows that he got told that he's fated to die and live again.
Yeah, but he thinks that already happened.
Yeah, so did it and when? Do you remember?
Yeah, we've already talked about this lots of times.
I'm testing your memory.
Is it when he was hanging from the tree of
No.
life and he was clearly dead?
Not clearly dead. Nope. That's not how it works. You can't hang from the tree of life.
Was there another time, too?
There was a very big instance where Matt died, yeah.
Asmodean and Avienda were there also dead when Ravine lightninged the city at the end of Fires of Heaven.
There we go, boom. And then Rand bale-fired Ravine so
clearly,
hard.
And he clearly lived again.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. And then Asmodean promptly was offed again. Right.
Immediately.
Okay.
Poor guy.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Wonder who done it.
Yeah.
Still don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any guesses?
No,
Any guesses?
not
okay.
right now.
Focus. No time. Okay.
All right. So Matt's pretty sure they'll end up waiting a few days at least for him if he doesn't show up, but it should still be okay. Eventually they'll go on. And then we learn that Oliver is fine with leaving Razel and Ebudar behind as long as Matt will still play Snakes and Foxes with him.
Yes.
And then we get this whole long thing. It felt like more than necessary.
About Oliver?
No, about Snakes and Foxes. We get this whole thing that Oliver still believes he can win without cheating.
Yeah.
And
well, you remember the whole Snakes and Foxes game
yes,
is you can't.
I do remember.
You can't win without cheating.
I do know.
Okay.
But I also know that there's real life snakes and foxes.
Yeah.
And stuff.
And you can't win without cheating.
Yeah.
Right?
I know.
So.
I'm just saying, it feels like a lot.
Okay. Plus the recap on the sad story of Oliver's life.
Yeah, it's bad.
And
did you say Oliver?
Oliver.
Oh, Brett, careful.
Banner General Yamada can't escape Big Boobed Rizal. Because they're marrying. Like tomorrow.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
I can't believe it.
It's fantastic. Okay. For her and maybe him.
Yeah.
But not for Thom and not for Oliver.
Okay. Yep.
There's a lot about Rizal in our marriage.
I don't care at all. So now, unfortunately, Beslin is all grumpy.
I love
because
this
Matt's leaving tonight, and if he had a few more days of warning, he could have come up with a magnificent uprising plan.
I love it. And Matt's like, I don't want a magnificent uprising plan. Yeah. I don't want that.
But they have agreed to let Beslin and his boys start a few fires of some of the Shanshan stores.
Literally, like, giving Beslin, like, a task.
And
but also, Beslin's not allowed to do.
Fire is so boring.
It's not even heroic. And also, Beslin's part of the plan is literally to go get wasted at an inn not near the fire
so that
he doesn't implicate Juilin.
Yeah,
and
himself.
And it's like, you're gonna get yourself murdered.
Yeah, really.
Okay,
but that's what he kind of wants, I think.
Is Beslan like the weak link in this entire... Is Beslan gonna mess up this entire plan for him?
Maybe he'll be heroic and save the day.
Really?
No.
You're going with that? Before or after he starts getting wasted?
Oh, after, for sure.
Oh, yeah, that's when the most heroic stuff happens.
That's when he's going to be the most heroic.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay,
well, so Matt and his crew go about getting ready to leave throughout the day. Everyone in the palace is really sure he's making a break for it tonight. They're even placing bets on it.
Yeah, because he's been playing it up,
yeah.
So...
One major issue seems to be that for the last few days, he hasn't seen Teslin with the rest of the Damane, but today he does see her, and she's looking not so great. And he's like, what the hell? Where's that determined person?
So here's the thing. 10 chapters ago, so in chapter 20, Bethaman wrote the note that Tesla needs to have her training redoubled and her punishments randomized, and she figures that Teslin is going to try to escape.
Yes.
So... the last couple of days at least, and we know before Bethaman has been brought into the plan here, because that happened literally yesterday, they've been, like, punishing Teslin a whole bunch.
Yeah, randomly.
To just keep her off her game.
Yeah.
So that is when Matt gets nervous.
This is the point where Matt's like, I don't really know who's broken and who isn't, and that sucks.
Yeah. No, it sucks. And again, this is where Matt... once again, to his guys, tries to reconfirm. Out. Yeah, like if I can't get it, you guys got to get out. Make sure you get Oliver out. Don't let the kids stay behind.
Right.
So
okay. So Matt makes his way back to Tylen's apartment. He lies down on the bed, and his part of the plan is just to wait and rely on everyone else to do the things.
Yeah, and also as a side note, the Ashendari goes last.
Mm-hmm.
So even when he leaves here, he still doesn't take it because he has to circle back to the room.
Because he can't saunter with his giant spear.
Right.
Yeah.
And his giant bow.
No.
And it's like, I can't take two giant weapons down the hallway with me.
That's true.
With my thumbs in my pockets.
That would be so difficult.
And look inconspicuous.
Can't do
It's
it.
Impossible.
And sing, don't be suspicious,
don't be suspicious. And he's doing like finger guns as he walks down the hallway.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. I watched that whole thing recently.
It's fantastic.
Okay, so...
before Matt does all that.
Anyway, we do get a bit of a time lapse. He's thinking. He hopes everyone's doing their thing. And oh my goodness, does the anticipation ever build.
Build.
Oh, I can just feel the anxiety within myself.
Yeah. So either...
this for me was probably my favorite chapter so far.
Interesting.
In the book. Because it's one of those ones where you don't know what's going to happen next.
It's either everything goes wrong or nothing goes wrong.
But what's annoying about this chapter in particular is the anticipation on the build-up was so big. Like, my heart was racing. I was really into it. I was so excited to, get to what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then nothing really even happens.
Not yet. We're in the middle of the plan. It's the middle of the night.
It was so much.
We just met up with all the people.
We continue on with everybody should be doing their stuff. And that sort of goes on and on and on throughout the night.
Yeah.
Now, finally, it's time for Matt to do his part. So he leaves the apartment and heads down the empty hallways. And it's quiet and nobody is here. But this is where he doesn't look like he wants to be sneaking. So he saunters down the hallway.
Elbows out, thumbs in pockets.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it is. And so he gets to the stable yard. And he tries to avoid getting completely soaked by the rain. And finally, this is where it was like, oh my god, nobody's here.
Yeah.
Something screwed up.
What are the guards? Who's this group of people approaching?
Oh my
What's
gosh,
happening?
What's going on?
Yeah. Turns out, because also part of the anticipation is Matt thinks there's too many people here.
Yeah.
So are they just messengers?
Yeah.
And then you're, internally thinking, oh man, is Matt just going to get taken captive here? Did they find out? Is his plan ruined? What's going on?
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, Egeanin is there and announces, your man Vannon is rude. And Doman follows in behind her, and she says, you didn't tell me she had 2 men with her, or that Mistress Anan was coming. Luckily, I know how to adapt.
Yeah.
I've made some changes to your plan.
And it's funny, because Matt gets mad at her for making changes to the plan, but it's like, you didn't tell her. You didn't tell her, extra people are coming.
Yeah,
here.
I also think it's interesting that Mistress Anan is still going with them to escape.
Oh yeah, even though she's not
she can totally just leave at any point.
Yeah, she can. She's not
gonna
attached.
Sell her in. She can wait a couple days.
Easy.
She can go whenever she wants, really, and then make her way to Ilion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
She's coming along.
She's coming.
She's making sure the Aes Sedai get back to the White Tower.
I guess so. Okay. Except she's not going to go all the way to the White Tower.
No, but she wants to make sure that they get out okay.
Yeah.
Because she's got
some ties.
She's got feelings.
Some ties.
Yeah.
There somehow, some way. Anyway, Matt's like, who are all those people out there? And then Egeanin is like, well, they're my people. They're my people from the inn. Because I needed a proper entourage to look right for the street patrols.
Which makes sense, too. Like, we should also ask the Shanshan person what will not be...
Suspicious.
Suspicious.
Don't be suspicious.
No, don't do it.
Don't do it. That's what this chapter should have been called.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Yeah.
Okay. She introduces her two Suldam that she has here as Seta and Rena.
Yes.
And that's super interesting.
Yeah, it's
because
Bethamin and Rena were doing the inspection that we saw on the Damani, and then Seta and Rena are both in Suroth's personal service, but they're not allowed to have Damani.
Yes, because they can channel.
Yeah, because that whole thing, we assume, and Suroth knows, obviously. But we don't actually know if Bethamin is here.
No, she's with Jolene, we think.
We think. We didn't get confirmation on that.
Well, no, but we think... okay, let me read back for a second.
Okay.
When I skipped over everything that Matt was thinking should happen...
Yeah.
At one point in the night, he thinks about how Egeanin should be introducing Jolene to her Suldam. And hopefully she was really able to find 3 Suldam to take part in tonight.
But here's the thing.
And hopefully Jolene doesn't panic and blow up the whole inn.
Yeah. But I don't think the name.
Happened.
I don't think the name Bethamin was said though.
No, not yet. But she's for sure part of this.
Okay, it's like as a
Who the hell else?
I don't know, but that's part of the job. That's part of my job. Don't blame me for doing my job here.
Oh, that's like a nothing. Of course, yeah. So she's with Juilin and the rest of them, waiting, and now we need 2 to go get the other 2.
So there's no possibility that the third Suldam is 2 on. She's a.
No, but
okay, no.
But honestly,
right.
late in a minute here, when you ask me what's going to happen next,
she's
going to come up in part of my questions.
Okay, because okay, let's
she's
go.
In
prediction
part of my
time.
Theories. Okay.
Yeah, what's happening here?
Well,
you had time to think on this.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Well, we're going to go ahead with the rest of the plan. You didn't say that's the end of this chapter.
Oh yeah, that's the end of the chapter.
Okay,
so that's it.
That's it. What's going to happen?
Yeah.
Ooh. My favorite thing is I actually don't know, and that's really cool.
Okay, because we're like in the territory now where it's like close call with the returning party.
So close.
Super close.
Also, Tuon.
Where is she?
She's been eyeing him every time he's anywhere.
She literally stares at him all the time. Matt hasn't been...
We are in the middle of the night.
He's been hanging out in his room like almost all day. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Should we be worried?
Veil off. Tuon shows up.
And then what... You say, like, veil off like it's a big important thing, but, like, what is that?
And we know that she really likes her Damane as her pets.
Yeah.
She really likes that.
She would not be on board with, like, let's just release Damane.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
No.
Can you kill her before you have to marry her? Is that an option?
I'm thinking about
Can
it.
You marry Okay.
No.
I
don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm just so eager to read on.
And you can do that.
I was like, hey, Brett, can we record tomorrow?
Yeah.
It's like literally been 2 days since we recorded the last episode.
You're going to have to wait till next book to find out what happens at the end of the storyline.
Yeah, I know. I hope not. No way. No way. This is... Yeah. I really don't think that.
Yeah.
Anyway... I don't know. I did happen to peek the next chapter
title.
Oh,
you did? Okay, I might as well say it then.
I am so intrigued.
Chapter 31, What the Aelfinn Said.
Yeah. We don't know which ones are the Aelfinns, right?
So, we don't, technically. However...
Because which ones told Matt about marrying...
Yeah, so the snakes.
The snakes.
In Tyr, the snakes told him...
Ah, shoot. I predicted
things.
The Eelfinns are the snakes.
And the Eelfinn... We don't know which is which.
No, we don't.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. But the chapter... I bet we're going to find out.
Possibly.
I bet we could maybe confirm which one is which.
We should probably be able to figure it out. Now, in Book 9, so long after we first met them in, like, Book 3...
Yeah, you know the other thing I'm thinking?
Yeah.
You know who probably just met with a bunch of the Aelfinn, maybe? Moraine. Maybe.
Okay.
Moraine is back, and she's going to tell us what the Aelfinn said.
Boom. There you go. That'd be great, too.
That would be great.
We could skip to a Moraine perspective.
That'd
be great. I mean, we can't because she's dead, but that's fine. Anyways, and then the foxes were the ones who granted the wishes, essentially.
And they said some stuff.
In Ruidian. They did say some things, but more so it was like, here are your gifts. And that's where he got the memories, and he got the Fox and Medallion,
they said some things
and the
to
Ashendara.
him too.
Yeah, they spoke, but, I mean...
I'm so intrigued.
Yeah.
I'm
dragging this out because, like, I know you're going to go read literally right now.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
You
that's
better
fine.
believe it.
Anyways, I have, like, 20 more points, and then you can go and...
Goodbye!
Okay.
You can talk by yourself to the microphone, because I'm out. I'm too excited. I have nothing else to say. I don't know. I hope everything goes okay, but it probably won't.
All right, there you go.
That's the end. That's the end of it.
Let's go find out what the elephant said.
Okay. And before you go ahead and execute your escape plan that's super simple and should definitely not go wrong, remember, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious. Because it's part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
All right, that'll do it for us tonight. But thanks so much for listening, everyone. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Danny and Brett, edited by Danny, produced by Danny and Brett with Passion Socks, Cody Feltz, Mozyme, Moltude, Benjamin, Michelle O'Brien, Jonathan Reese, Jamie Young, Megan Smiley, Marta Thier, Margaret, Charlie Haz, Hannah Green, Lance Barden, Elspeth Ahola, and Adam, with music by Audionautics. Be sure to check out our Patreon page if you're interested in supporting us and the podcast. We'd love to send you some Patreon exclusive merchandise as a thank you, plus you'll gain access to our episodes earlier than everyone else, and at the time of this recording, we have over 40 bonus episodes for your listening pleasure. You can find all that and more at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. For general information about our show and information like how to send us shot glasses, how to join our Discord, and how to get in touch with us, visit thewheelweavespodcast.com. Plus, find us on social media on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at The Wheel Weaves Podcast. And as always, be sure to give us a 5-star review because it really does make a huge difference in helping other people find us. And be sure to tell a friend, Riyadh, because referrals really are the best compliment. Thanks again for listening. This really is part of the pattern now.